bounce, I wasn't quick enough to get the long. As it retested, I could have, I don't remember what the hell I was doing. But effectively, that was a really, really good level. When we bounced at 81, came back, retested, but at the same time, most importantly, was NQ. And the goal or the target was at 375, 4,375. The high of yesterday was 4,350. We missed it. That really sucks. I was actually having an order there to short the market, anticipating that, we might actually pull back. If you were on stream yesterday, I said this up move looked really suspicious. And Harvey asked me, what does that mean? It's more of just playing it off of price action at that point. So for the most part, everything worked out well. What I wanted to highlight is, when we came, scenario 3 was for us to come down to this level here at 55.75, 56, and look at the overnight low. So my idea is that we're actually going to go back and test it, and this is way before that. I had to correct some of these starting points, but for the most part, I think we're going to go back and test that, but maybe not as low. So perhaps 58.75 is the idea. So going to today's plan, my plan is that we're going to open, test 58.75, back up to 10.75, and then finish, somewhere above London's area. That's the goal. Yesterday, we didn't touch 375, but it was close enough that I took it off the board. For those of you guys who noticed that, I do keep, quite a bit of these levels will carry on if they don't get hit. So for instance, like this 1075 is carrying on. This 29 level has been carrying on for weeks. I still don't think we're going to reach up there, but it's on there just in case we do somehow get an extension out there that you guys want to, at least you guys have that level to trade off of, if you choose to. So anyways, yeah, so the scenario 1, again, back into value, maybe even extended even a little bit higher. Like we might not get close to it, but it's either, on top of London or even on the higher end. So, I think for most of you guys who are volume profile, it's quite P-shaped in my opinion. Scenario 2 is that we're going to test London's, either it's right before London's high or the breakdown point of London. I'm not putting a level out there because you're just going to watch the price action in and around that area. Test that 58.75 before blasting past 10.75, 15.50. Now, 10.75 and 15.50 are not stop levels. These levels are attracting price to it. They don't repel levels either. So me putting it here, scenario 1, repelling it doesn't necessarily have to. It can go up to 10.50 or whatnot. You're watching those. 58.75 is a repel level. So once we get up there, I think scenario 2 will get up to 15.50. I do not think it has a chance to get up to 29. Scenario 3, opening up, retesting London's, either breakout point, again, same as number 2, or perhaps close to London's high, maybe even taking out London's high. That's also a possibility. I know I didn't put a level out here because this is an area that I do want you guys to watch for price action. But most importantly, we're going to finish lower at 35.75. Weeks ago, we did have level at 35.75 right here. This is not weeks ago, last week on Friday. So, that's where I think it's going to, finish for the day. It could break it a little bit further. Again, 35.75 is an attracting level, which means if it gets anywhere close to it, it wants to trade to it. So for instance, this level yesterday at 39.81 was also an attracting level. So once we get close to it, it wants to attract it to it. Now, for it to fluctuate like this is perfectly fine. It's not a repelling level whatsoever. I'm not a person that believes in all levels are created equal. So, yeah. Oh, shit, I forgot. NQ. Where's NQ? Crap. We do have something similar to what we have yesterday from NQ. And that level is 12,375. So I'll put that in. So NQ needs to hold above that level. Otherwise, we're almost immediately going to be a little bit more bearish on it. So 12,375 is a level that it needs to, first off, it's going to attract it. And hopefully that's very at the hopefully, it's going to fall on the level of ES as well for it to both bounce at once. But the overnight low is a little bit dangerous. I think if we clear that, there is a lot more downside to it. And then if you have questions in regards to it, we can talk about that as well. If anyone's trading NQ. Also, this 108 level is important. 12,108. That's also an attracting level. So 12,108 is very similar to, say, ES's, where is it? I thought I drew it in. 1 second. Thought I drew it in. Let me go back to that. Oh, 12,108 is going to be. So because ES is much weaker. So if you look at in relations to yesterday's close, NQ is actually a lot higher. So I think this 12,108 is going to be reflective of close to ES's, that breakdown area that I was telling you about in ES for scenario 2 and 3. Oh yeah. So dollar index. This is the important level for dollar index for the day. It's going to be at 104,642. I will have an alert there as well. So I have alert for ES, for NQ and dollar index. And I'll send out the levels right now. If you have anything to add or questions, let me know. Yeah, gold is if you remember our conversation from before, like beginning of the year, right now I don't like it. So we can take a look at gold. Actually, I'll just share with everybody. So let's just look at gold within itself. I don't like it. I don't think it got high enough to warrant a buy. As soon as they opened, they kind of sold that off a little bit. But for me right now, it's gold is basically unchanged for the year. Right? Slightly above. And right now, for last year, we're unchanged as well. But for the most part, I just need to see more upside, and I need it to hold above, that, what's that number I have? I need it to hold above 1831.90 in order for us to have additional upside to it. So let's just go through the capital flow for gold. I like how we bounce off the 400-day, but I think we need to come back and test much lower into the 1780s. So let's just take a look at gold against the Swiss. We're way high above here. We're not showing any, this was support for the longest time, and we broke out, but we're coming into this breakdown zone, which I don't like. We ran this yesterday in our chat room, so it's good that you caught it. Gold against silver is quite high as well. It's not something that I'm willing to buy gold and sell silver. If anything, it will be the inverse of that. Gold against USD, we're still in this very low pattern. We're touching the 400 hourly. it's not too much for me to say it's a go. I was thinking about buying gold earlier, but it just ran without even any pullbacks whatsoever. If you look at the against the yen, we're not really doing too much. We had this big move up early on last year, and then we kind of just been settling. So capital flow, and this is another look with RMB. Capital flow wise, I don't love it. This is against the yen. We're very high up there. Yes, the yen has been strong, but still. So as far as that goes, I don't. I think there's better spots to be choosing than gold, in my opinion. But if you find a location, by all means, take a stab at it. We are at a major level right now at 1845 and a 1845.4. So it's right there, right there. So that's going to be an interesting area to watch. In regards to trading today, be mindful of what contract you're trading. Don't just blindly take whatever contract you see and then apply that. Because some people will be jumping onto the June contract, the M. So be mindful. We're trading at a premium right now in the M contract in comparison to the H contract, March contract. So be mindful of what that is, right? Meaning if you have a level, say let's just say at 4,000, you need to monitor both of these contracts because we don't know which one is going to honor it yet. So just be mindful of that. It's going to be more prominent in next couple of weeks, or sorry, the next couple of days than it is today. So maybe today is a little bit earlier of a talk, but you need to be mindful of these, different contracts. Anything else, guys? Holy shit, we're selling off already. We have news at 7, I believe, or sorry, not 7. That's California time. Sorry, that's my computer time. 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Be mindful of that. That's gonna cause some good fluctuations. You know. Any questions or anything? All right. Well, best of luck.
Good luck, everyone.
I have everything flagged, so once it gets there, I'll call it out. Dollar, NQ, stuff like that. Although I would encourage you guys to do the same. 67.25 is going to be something that it wants to probably test right when we open. So right when we open, expect a slight move up. It's not enough to trade it, and then see what it does at 58. It's and 3/4. Again, everything's price action based. Peter, I pissed like 10 times today, man. Fuck. Fasting, just drinking water. Yeah, it's fasting a lot. You lose weight. If we do break yesterday's low, I don't see why we won't try to go a little bit further to the 47 area, but just we'll just keep watching it. There is a possibility that it might be, instead of scenario 1, 2, or 3, it could be scenario 500. Just, be swift enough to switch on a dime. These scenarios aren't like set in stone, right? So if you see certain price action, you see certain things, you see the numbers come out, and as you see it respect a certain level, and obviously my overall majority bias is upwards. If it gets up to 35.75, I'm gonna buy it, right? I'm not gonna have a limit order there, but if price action tells me to, I'm gonna buy it, and then I'm gonna still target that 10.75 because there's nothing that says that scenario 1 couldn't have been like this, right? Where it comes down here. So just pay attention to that. Those here, I don't know. It's only been a little bit over a day, so let's not get carried away like I'm doing a lot. But I'm gonna try for probably 3 days, 3 days. I don't know. And then my wife fucking has a party right now outside with her friends, looking at jewelry and shit. And she hates pizza, but she knows I love pizza, and she ordered motherfucking pizza. Anyways, good luck, guys.
What's the message, man?
I know she's not. I am. I love pizza.
It's all right. I've had it too much recently, so when you think about it, you're really just eating bread, cheese, and sauce, which is great. But if you have it like 3 times a week, there's no actual nutrients in it. That's my only criticism with it. But you're not meant to eat it 3 times a week. I'm just eating it like too much.
You're also not eating it for nutrients or like crazy, like a diet.
Yeah. Oh, I really thought we were gonna take out overnight low and then reverse. Doesn't seem like it wants to do that.
I don't even think they sound the same, Jackie.
Would you say, Zero, you had for a plan today?
Test lower, and then swing up. I sent out the picture already.
Oh shit. Yeah, I have the same plan.
Watch that 67.25.
I never understand your pictures, to be honest. It's like
It's just scenario
okay.
3.
1, 2, 3. Okay, gotcha.
It's actually
The 1 and 2 are basically the same, almost the same.
Well, they should be if they're scenario 1 and 2. I'm not trying to like cover all bases, like it's up, down, and going nowhere, right? Like, that's kind of cheating.
This is why you won't make it as a furu. You need every base covered.
And then you need 3 different accounts, all on demo, but you don't show that it's on demo. And then you take all the trades, and one of them hits big. And then you just say, you post it on Twitter, and then you just say, buy my course, guys.
No, I'm not trying to be a furu. Thought about it for a second. I was like, dude, I could make so much money just putting up bullshit.
You gotta.
Good rejection of 67.25. Look at that rejection. God damn it. Trying to get 65 views.
You gotta tell me after 69 and 70, and after 70, 71.
Oh my god. Give it to me. I'm tired of calling this shit and not making it. 64 and 3/4. Let's see if I can get that. Trying to get short. 64, 75. Hmm.
58.
Oh, that's really strong. Pull it back a little bit. All right, I'm short. I was trying to wait a little bit longer, but risk off or not risk off. Mitigating risk at 62. To get there. Whoa, some violent shoves.
This guy thinks I'm the same as risky. I'll take that as a compliment.
Hmm. Going over there, break even. Without mitigating risk, because this looks, yep. I knew it was gonna, that was a complete break even. Re-evaluate this really quick. The original idea was to short that to get it to 58.75, so it wasn't a big whatever, but yeah.
By the way, there's news in 9 minutes, guys. Global PMI.
They're hitting a lot of the tech right now. A lot of payment processors. China's falling. Canada's PMI is at 52.4, previously at 51. No one cares about Canada. Everyone's going to wait for the ISM.
Oh, Bayman, doing some cowboy work or something, weren't you?
Hey man, I thought you live in like Canada or the US or something. How did you even have enough time to trade that much? Oh wait, never mind.
Hey, Harvey.
Mr. Specs.
How's the Canadian pet polar bear treating it today?
Polar bear? What do you mean? I mean, in polar bear. the Canadian polar bear? Grizzly bear?
Dude,
Brown bear?
apparently, people in America think everybody in Canada has polar bears. It's like this thing. Or no, was it the Brits who think that? I had a long conversation with a person once explaining that we don't have it. Yeah, what's
Hold
up?
on. The low of the day is at 12,004, which was one tick away from that 12,375 in NQ. So, that could be the low of the day already. Just a FYI. We didn't hit it to the tick, but it was one tick away. Depending on what happens, that could be it. So,
Yeah, it could be.
where's that guy that says my levels don't work? Where is he?
Rolling in his grave, maybe?
I don't want to call his ass out. No, not him. No, he's like,
Sully.
it's not Sully.
It's not Sully, no.
Right here, Sully.
That guy's an OG.
Somebody else put levels out at the other chat though.
I don't. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but there's just way too many chats in here. I don't really read it. Yeah.
A red light comes on and I have to go. Look,
What red light?
little thing that says "ding ding." There's a.
Oh, I muted all of that shit.
It's something that hasn't been read. Go now. That's why it bothers me when Dr. Chat gets in. It's just nonstop barrage, right? It's like, come on in.
I mean,
It's a bomb.
maybe NQ can come back and tag that level, but I think it's gonna take until the news. Things aren't really moving all that much. Everyone's waiting.
Tick on the level. Where are we at? We're at Wednesday. Jones almost this week.
They just announced in my room that there's so much else going on that the indices aren't moving. Like happening in the names. So if you look like so here, let's see.
Slow.
John Deere. Isn't moving. But the ones that are moving is what Caterpillar's moving. A lot of the payment processors are moving. But yeah, they're just young. Yep. So it's moving in the names right now. So there are times where and you know this. Sometimes it moves in the names. Sometimes it's better to trade the names than it is to trade the indices.
Yeah. The other room is actually not your room, but another room about EV, electric vehicle.
In ES chat, what are you talking about?
Oh no, it's electric vehicles.
Oh, okay.
Costco is having tomorrow. There's NVAX. That retro? Just 26%. Not a big deal. Start listening to myself. Gotta start listening. Lowe's may not do what I think it did because it actually followed on the day that Home Depot did, so it already what do they added it in or whatever they call it? Priced it in. They already priced it in there, fuck up, so it's already done. Get a double dip on that move. It's fine.
How come the US PMI didn't come out yet? The global one.
It's like 1 minute,
Construction spending.
30 seconds.
No one cares about that. PMI. The ISM one.
9:45. Oh, it's not a minute.
I'm really hoping NASDAQ blows by that number by a couple of points and then bounces, because I don't like it when it does this. It scares me.
Close it came?
Yeah, like one tick away and then just bounce it. It
little
scares
too-
me. Yeah.
A little too saucy. That's like the DXY bottom tick here. A little too, and then look, doesn't even respect that at all. It makes a new high.
47.3. All right, wait for the ISM number. Don't chase this long, in my opinion. I think we should get another crack at it, even if it breaks the high of the day. In my opinion.
Really similar. It's building the same kind of a daily candle. Yes, is building the same type of similarity to December 16th to January 4th, 5th. Look at the candles. It's kind of
Unless you're taking like micro scalps like a minute or two, you shouldn't be trading. If you're anything like you're holding to something like more than, I don't know, 30 minutes, you shouldn't be trading this shit. You need to wait. Unless you got it at the low of the day, or you've been overnight low.
huge premium
Just
in
not worth
the
it.
M.
Yeah, we covered that.
No, but it's fun. It's becoming bigger and bigger.
Actually, so, nope. They're buying up Intel right now.
Your Gator, you can only go back so far, right? I tried to backtest that, and it's actually
Which
a lot
one?
less common than you think. It's inside Asia market.
It's less common.
You
Oh, you mean
yeah,
Asia?
like it
Asia
actually
inside
happens
London?
less times than you think. What I could go.
It'll be a good backtest.
Except that I can only back like fucking.
In my opinion, first order is once numbers come out, look for a good pullback to get long.
Good morning, people.
Okay.
It's like afternoon now. Gee,
Yeah, for me, it's afternoon, for sure.
you been?
What? What, Harvey?
What?
He said good morning, Specs.
Yeah, spec. Right?
Well. Yeah, the
Good morning,
pump is always
sire.
on
How
there.
do you do?
I've just been trading.
Oh, wow. Guess he left. Oh, yeah. How's it going?
I haven't traded much. I bought puts earlier today and then sold puts a little bit later.
Nice. What price do you get in at ES?
Equivalent price on ES would be My first entry would have been 39.89 roughly, where I bought puts, like equivalent level.
That's a good
So
entry.
it's going.
I mean, it's like 89, 88, 50, roughly there in between. Like, I was not paying attention specifically to price on the puts. Like, there was something else that mattered for buying them there.
This thing is just ripping. It doesn't care. Yes.
Doesn't.
It
Did
don't
you guys
give
see
a
the
fuck.
HSI move last night?
Miners are ripping.
Well, they should be, considering HSI is up and like manufacturing is up majorly in China and Asia. So commodities trade is on. Really ripping.
Ethereum's upside target is 1695.
75, 75, 2.
Let them small caps go.
Bitcoin's at 2774.
It's on my
And global manufacturing PMI was also up. So
Um, 9 minutes.
I'm assuming ISM.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna wait for news to hit. Not fucking with this. Just gonna burn myself. If that's the case. Anyone played the gap close on bonds?
No, I was looking at it.
I did.
But
I bought it like midday, same time as I bought my puts for ES.
interesting. But they're gonna release it, so they're gonna push the price down. Yeah. You know, people who trade crypto, like, there's some really good strategies to it. I'm just too lazy to do it. Like, ooh, track whale wallets. I I just look at it from a technical standpoint.
Have you looked at the Binance leader score? Fucking
I've looked at it
nuts.
before, but
Like the one who's top now is fucking nuts, and the second one, like it's 6% of his equity. Like fucking what? I was like
are
looking
you
at
talking
it.
about the traders?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. I used to want to be one of those. Like, oh, okay. And then I was trading. Yeah, I had some, I don't know, decent gains, and then it got tough because I tried to short the market too early. That was, during the time where crypto was way too buy heavy. Yeah, it's a lot. They must need to pay some bills. No, I'm serious. I mean, that's the trouble with a lot of crypto companies. They can't sell it. They'll push it down.
Here, look at the leaderboard for the futures for this one. This fucking nuts.
Stacked.
And
Sorry, staked, not stacked.
like the USD M and then total time and sort by PNL. That one is small in comparison to the other. There's one of them which is a Swedish guy who's called Hugo Viking, who is number one. Yeah. He lives in Balkan. He is from Yugoslavia, but he moved to Sweden when he was like fucking 3 years old. And then he moved back now because of taxes and yada. Whatever. Serbia is where he lives. Pretty decent P&L. And if you look at his monthly, that's fucking nuts as well. Yeah. Look at his monthly. Like this month, he's up $1.3 million. Oh. Monthly ROI 30%. I don't know. It's what he's been sharing. It's not like I don't know more than. But he's trading a lot. So. But he's both losing and making a lot of money. So if you're looking at his P&L history. But he doesn't go very heavy. Like if you're using like 10x leverage compared to us trading fucking 300, that's fucking nothing. Yeah, but most of the time he doesn't use more than 10x leverage. So
3 minutes.
just thought it would be fun to look at that. He's been having a really fucking amazing run up. But the top other one is no, it's not me actually. Like look it up. This guy has a Twitter. Like it's not me.
It is. That's me, you fucking guy. It's mine. Look at the numbers. Isn't it awesome? See, all I had to do was take the decimal point out. Now it's like fucking.
Oh yeah, that is Harvey, dude. I recognize it.
Fucking smile across his face.
8 million. Oh my god.
It's as good as.
But what is this person trading anyway?
What?
What is this person trading anyway?
They are trading crypto futures.
Damn. How did they make that?
Yeah, you can literally do that. Like you can see their active positions they have on right now. So long ETH, like long ETH USD is up 72 grand. Short GMT USD is up 107 grand. Short US Sol USDT is down 161 grand. PHP USD is up 185 grand. Stupid trades.
Took any trades yet?
Took one break even.
Yeah, like they're doing it like a portfolio management thing where they have theses in different things. Bella series. So you're used to Bella series. You're used to trading one product. Have a good time, Retro.
Later.
Nope. This person, if I met him in person, no, he moved from Sweden before I got to know him. I don't know him in person, so
20 seconds.
moonshot.
Whoa.
Run on both
Jesus.
sides. Yay! And then it yeeted down.
Damn. I haven't seen this type of move in a while.
Yeah, that was a big move.
I went short, got some tea, came back. What happened?
Well, they were clearly expecting that it was in line or above on the ISM because that was not that was people getting the fuck out.
What's the numbers on
47.7 and it estimated was 48.
so below? So it's contracting more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good news, right? But it don't matter to me. But that's my
I mean,
interpretation.
they kind of want bad news in this scenario.
Yeah.
But,
So bad news is good, right?
Yeah, and vice versa. Fucking weird ass market, man. Still think we're gonna rip to the upside. I don't know why. Hunch.
Yeah. Looking at calls right now.
Mm-hmm. Have to pick where I'm gonna hit the long. That's my problem right now.
I was
Consolidate.
hoping they do a sweep of the overnight lows so it can get in, but it doesn't look like it's gonna get there.
And now it looks like it's gonna get there.
Yeah,
Shit.
Fucking
I hope so.
John fucking jinxing the shit out of it.
Holy shit.
Jinx
even
more
cancel
shit.
that.
Don't say that it's going to all-time high. John.
I should probably close my short put and hold my. Close my long put and hold my short put.
You're a fucking degenerate. I never have like exposure in that way. That's when I feel bad.
You know what? You're right. That is pretty dumb.
Well, you're taking unlimited liabilities. So. Well, close to it. If you were selling calls, you would be taking unlimited liabilities.
See if this works out.
Have any levels on NQ that you think are important today? Zero?
Yeah, we already tapped it. 375. We're one tick off though. But
1203.75?
yeah.
On the lower end then? Any
Yeah.
important level?
In NQ.
Yeah.
1 second. I didn't really do it for not for the dailies. It's just major levels.
I'm looking at like 11,990 for a potential long, or 12,004, 12,004 for a potential long. But that's dependent on order flow and or price action or whatever majiggity you want to call it.
Yeah. I have an 83 level, 11,983.
Yeah, that's perfectly
About the
doable.
same.
That's perfectly doable. Watch it fucking rip every long that is in existence right now. Fucking aggressive. No, I don't think crypto is easier. I just like people need to understand what's fundamentally going on. And this person literally lives his life on the internet. So, like, he doesn't touch grass ever. And all he does is code. So, code and steal people's money. Oh, Jesus Christ, this fucking cell.
58.75 coming. NQ's touching that number, so we'll see what it does.
I'm happy about reloading my 3,700 puts.
You reloaded that?
Yeah. I reloaded it midday for me. So 4 hours ago.
NQ touched it. So ES is coming into that 58 level that we have. The dollar index is climbing, but it's a little bit further off away from that 652 number. So just keep an eye out. So I wouldn't engage in a buy just yet if you're looking for a counter trend.
This looks fucking aggressive as hell.
Yeah.
Heavy buying on NQ right now. Don't think it's gonna stop it though, but we'll see. Took a little bit of a stab here on NQ at 81.
The previous week's low is at 47.50 for ES. So that's pretty close to there.
Yeah, we're close. Not yet. Dollar's still not there yet. And then you have to watch the price action.
Took half off at 93 on NQ.
Hope it takes more.
Anybody happen to know where the 200-day SMA is at?
Clue, my guy.
I have it at 50-50. But
4908.
We're like 3 ticks away from that number in dollar index. So, and it put in a reversal pattern on the small time frame. We could get still additional push up. So don't. I personally will not be triggering anything yet.
I got stopped. Shit. Well,
1 tick away from that number. In dollar. Like literally 1 tick. There we go. You hit it. Let's see if it bounces or falls through. Oh, it's not ready to turn. New lows in the bonds, in the March contract. We're dealing -1 right now.
we're having pretty heavy, like, passive buyers here. But I'm not seeing the turn in the uptick, downtick. Just a lot of volume. Neither on NQ, Russell, or yes.
Your lows and bonds. We definitely need to get up to 63.25 at the very least. So watch 63.25.
Wonder what type of reaction we will get if we break that weekly low number.
I think
It's basically
the real pain is below like 39 line 30, like right underneath all those fucking buyers.
man. I should have held my short at 74.50. God damn it!
Well, I didn't hold my shorts either, like the daily. Like they're up currently they're up. They were not like super. They're up like 320% currently. Like if I would have held, but nope. And you know what doesn't want to go down? You can guess it. European markets don't give a shit that the US is taking a crash. They're literally unfazed.
This is a lot of selling.
Mm-hmm.
That is quite the volume. But there's like someone sitting at 39.50.
First time I've seen decent uptick in NQ in a while now. Same thing for ES, but it's fading currently.
Be right back.
Wait for it to break this region if you're gonna do it. If you're gonna hit it. Already in some longs from 57, took some profit at 72.50. Moved my stop up to 59.75. Nah. Don't know what I think about this. Come on. Just go already. Squeeze.
Where did you get in at, Risky?
I am long from 58.50 on NQ.
Oh, I thought it was the yes.
Nope. Would have been slightly better, I think, in ES, but it's like very minimal in a dollar basis. Didn't reach my target to take some off there. Another quarter, so the next target to take some off would have been 87 even. And it's like literally touched 86.25 on NQ. Probably gonna take off my stop here. Was that a beer or was it an energy drink?
Pure liquid cocaine from Colombia.
Pure liquid cocaine from Colombia.
There goes that cocaine talk again.
It pays well. I actually don't make my money from trading. It's all from importation of cocaine.
Well, I could believe you.
No one would ever assume some white boy is actually the kingpin of New England and the East Coast.
Why not?
You hiring?
Depends. How much am I able to pack in you?
I can get a nice little truck and get a couple.
No. In you, as in.
Saying you're gonna be a living mule.
Oh shit! No.
Hope your anal cavity is wide enough.
Don't worry, it will.
We'll sort.
I won't only be carfentanil.
Damn, this could be.
He's gonna jinx it now, isn't he? It's gonna be start of a new bull trend or some shit's gonna pour out of John's mouth, and then it's just gonna fucking rip 100 points down.
Yeah.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I know it all too well, John.
Well,
Well, okay then.
I inquired about a place to rent. And they said, you must show W-2s as proof of income. My response is, I don't have W-2s. I can show you bank account statements. And they said, sorry, we are only comfortable taking tenants that have a consistent income. It's okay. Jesus Christ.
I mean, people can ask for what they want, you know.
Oh yeah, 100%. I have no issue with that. It's more or less I find it amusing because I have even offered in some circumstances I'll pay a year in advance and you don't even have to worry about that. And when you account for the time value of money with being able to put it into Treasury Insured Protection Securities at 5%, because the amount I'm paying them, they could do anything they want with it, as opposed to there being depreciation in the asset.
Yeah.
I do. However, I really only quote unquote pay myself once every 6 to 12 months.
I value money again. So I get it.
Because I'm trying to decide where I want to next set up camp.
You're feeling East Coast is not cutting it anymore?
I don't know. I'm looking at heading back to Denver. Maybe. Actually, it's probably going to be either Denver, maybe Miami. No, probably more likely than not, probably Denver or Europe. I don't know.
I got a nice response to working out too heavily today.
Did you? Oh yeah, I saw your message when I rolled out of bed this morning and completely forgot to respond because I was still groggy.
It's fine. It's fine. I was so surprised. I just I felt like I was gonna vomit when I did my final sets because the pain was just overwhelming because I did volume in the end after doing the heavy sets, and I was like, I'm just gonna cut down my weight to like half of the heavy weight and then just rep it out and then drop sets all the way till I can't walk. And then afterwards, I just walked to the bathroom and then just threw up and then walked back home, you know.
Well, that's calories. I hope you ate it at least.
Well, I ate afterwards. I came home and ate straight after. So it was just my breakfast that came back up again. You know?
Yeah, but you have to eat it with calories. They can't go to waste. Some kid in Africa.
Shut up. I live in Europe. I have white privilege, so I have food. Oh, and at least in one part of the continent which has food. Certain don't. this fucking country pays you to fucking eat, so even if you don't provide anything. So
Red pie. That's a lot easier said than done, particularly when the way the income is structured is on an inconsistent basis and versus there being a contract. What most quote unquote loan or condos, whatever you want, either you pay straight cash for a condo because no one most likely is going to give you a mortgage, particularly because there isn't a contract in place of consistent income and guaranteed income. They can evaluate, quote unquote, the company per se in the earnings, but you need a special relationship with private clients. Whether that's pretty much what you need is specialized relationships when you're going through the process of purchasing. Since I'm deciding where I want to purchase, but I'm going to rent first, probably for 8 to 12 months. No, I don't, because I'm incorporated under an LLC, an S corp. I'm technically the owner / employee, and that allows me to circumvent some aspects of taxes, but that's more or less predominantly predicated on being established offshore.
be careful on catching this knife.
Particularly since in the US, it's not favorable to trade versus in most other countries, you're only taxed upon assets withdrawn from your bank account or from your trading account. Being taxed in the US on your business's working capital, I vociferously disagree with that. I'm not taking it as income. That's my working capital, is my business. I shouldn't be taxed on it.
I mean, that's a perk of living in Sweden. The only problem is when you're going to withdraw, you're going to pay all the taxes. So, if you're doing it incorporated. Because the tax regulations here for companies is rather nice.
But when you decide to make a withdrawal, you're taxed at 40%, I assume, correct?
I mean, it depends how much income it is because it's bracketed. So it depends. Like if you withdraw it to your personal bank account from the company, then you're going to be taxed whatever rate. Like because you're going to have income tax and social. Fuck is it called? I can't think properly right now. Like you have like social fees and whatnot.
Yes.
Here, which the employer is going to pay the government. So there's fees included in your salary. That's like it's like half your salary is fees.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Since the upper, including, well, I'm just extrapolating to the U.S. So if you were to, let's say, since it's bracketed and it's regressive,
personal income is bracketed, but the I don't know if it's I don't actually know if the financial companies, which you would be classed as, have any different aspects on taxation when your main business is trading.
Yeah, so if I'm just assuming, let's say it's standard income tax as an individual, it'd be 52.3%. Upper echelon.
No, 53, yeah, but that's like only above a certain percentage of your income that's taxed at 53%.
Yes, as I said, Sweden is a regressive tax structure, as opposed to US, which is progressive.
Yep.
But I'm just going to say, even at 53%, even though that's not how much you're paying, let's say 53%, the tax rate is less than if you were living in New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, since federal tax, if you're trading equities, is going to place you at short-term capital gains, 40%. Then you have state tax. Then you have city tax. You're going to be around 55%.
Yeah.
in New York
like
City.
see you guys claim that you're the nation of fucking of trading and fucking freedom of capital flow, but that's fucking
Yeah, no.
nuts. That's
Yeah.
fucking nuts. They're paying close to 50% on just
Yes.
on just the trading like taxes.
And granted,
not-
if you trade futures, there's the benefit of 1256
60-40.
contract. Yeah, 1256 contracts, which is a blended 60-40 split, 60 long term, 40 short term.
Yeah.
Or sorry, yeah, 60 long term, 40 short term split. And that comes out to be about 28%. But then you and then you have your state taxes, potentially your city or municipality taxes. Versus if you set up as an S corp offshore, you're only going to be taxed on what you pay yourself. And granted, you don't have then the benefit of 1256 contracts. But let's say someone makes $1 million a year or $2 million a year, but then they only want to remove living expenses of $100,000. Well, great, you're only taxed on $100,000 versus the $2 million.
Yeah. Oh, I love this market. It goes down, takes out my entry stop, and then it goes. What a fucking beast! Oh, disgusting. I was considering like doing a separate entity to for trading because my uncle was interested in putting in like a fairly large amount of money in it, and like his capital requirement was like his gains was rather small, so my compensation is large in the stake, and since I would just pool it together with my own money, doesn't really matter.
I was gonna say, yeah. If I were you, I would have set up offshore a while ago.
Yeah, but that's the different problem entirely. Since I'm like primarily I'm doing mine in my private, so my net worth increases instead. I'm paying 30% flat on it instead of whatever. Sure, it decreases my compounding interest, but fuck it.
Yes, although I would say it is worth the hassle because if you're only concerned about living expenses, why not have the tax rate slightly increased for the minimal amount you're removing? And then and also when you have two individuals involved in a venture, the bifurcation and separation of assets is much simpler.
Yeah.
Um,
Holy shit! This is one fucking squeeze here. Straight through VWAP, straight through everything. Not even looking back.
What a good area to get long.
You gonna take it as a breakout trade long?
No, I meant that area the low was. It was a 200-day SMA and an LVA for the past few weeks.
I don't know. I'm not completely sold on it being a complete long, but we'll see. Doesn't mean I'm gonna short it though. Not unless I have a fucking 100% signal, which is very rare. Oh, that's some puke.
I'm also a bit tempted to maybe head to Girona for a month or two.
Oh. I mean, you have the freedom of doing whatever you want, so that's the perk.
Well, it's my thought is once I'm hoping next week since
Too much cocaine?
I'm great.
The cocaine ran down his throat.
I have to die at some point, but once I'm up and running come next week, I realistically should be hands off for 2-3 months and simply let shit run. Besides increasing contract sizes on a week to week basis, and therefore, what need to find something to do. Oh, jeez. I kind of want to take some time and cycle a fair bit. And I'll look at markets for fun, but this is, as I've explicitly expressed, this is something that's been in the works for, I'm turning 27 in May, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be pretty hands off once it's live, particularly with the results that are being seen. I should more or less oversee that nothing goes awry, but we have 3 backup data feeds integrated into this. So if there's an outage, 2 of which are data and execution, 1 of which is exclusively data. So if there's an outage on one, the orders are routed elsewhere. If there's a data outage, you have 2 backups for the data. Probably would have taken a fair bit longer. Yeah, I'm working with one of my friends. He recently accepted an offer to be one of the heads, or what's the specific title? One of the chief solution architects for OpenAI. So he is, he can program quite well and understands issues that may arise in codes or anything else. This is what he lives and breathes and does very well. So it expedited the process. He studied applied mathematics and hotel management.
That's a weird combination, but
Yeah, it is.
okay. I guess he likes to service people and he likes math. Well,
He doesn't have a PhD, no. Only undergrad. If all goes as planned. Pretty much self-taught. But if all goes according to plan in a year and a half, 2 years, we may have a discussion of partnering up and actually creating a legitimate entity that trades all assets. I'm more interested in the theoretical and market mechanics and how to integrate that. His curiosity predominantly is how to model something with code. And it doesn't matter, anything and everything. He wants to know how to create it in code. I'm more concerned about the theory, and then I can implement it. But he would rather spend a lot of time fostering the curiosity in the code as opposed to the theory and market mechanics. Therefore, where the divergence in skill set is, I'm much more of a practitioner. I understand the market mechanics in regards to how exchanges function, how they operate, how market makers on institutional retail operate, how execution is supposed to occur, certain parameters, and I can represent that in code. His expertise is building out backends because that's his curiosity. That's why he is better. Is he likes the building component more than the theory, and more than the theory in practice versus, or yeah, I prefer the theory in practice and integration. He really enjoys the building process of the back end and how to model it. More importantly, genuinely a good human being.
The fucking indecision in markets currently, like what the fuck? Numbers, since you have better context than me, can you please ask someone why the fuck European equities are at where it's at and why it's dropping so bad? It's like fucking rotation from crap to other crap. It's literally like from banks to cyclical like production. Like that's all they rotate between currently.
Hold on one moment and then I'll explain.
Yep. It's not a bull market. It's just like it doesn't do anything. It just chops. It's a 3% range where it moves up, down, up, down, up, down.
I would say it's predominantly predicated on energy markets. If you look at the increased expenditure, household expenditure for energy, that you potentially, if there's continued reduction in energy prices, then you're going to see additional disposable income for the consumer, despite the increase in interest rates. And most developed economies are predicated on the consumer. I would say that's why you're seeing a bit more stability versus the US. We've had stability in energy prices, but Europe hasn't. And that increase in disposable income could assist the economy from a consumer perspective by increasing the amount of consumption.
I get that. It's just like odd. Okay, that's like I don't get it why they're valuing them here like continuously. Like it doesn't make sense. Like sure the PE ratios or whatnot, they're lower in Europe than they are in the US. So
I think markets are horribly overvalued, but that doesn't matter. I trade what I see.
I know, but I'm just like wondering why the fuck it's stuck here. It's not going anywhere. Like a normal day in NQ, it moves quite a bit. If you compare it to DAX, which is the most volatile of the Europeans, it moves barely anything. That's why I'm sure, DAX is maybe not the practical example to trade if you're trading futures, because everything is traded in CFDs or bank derivatives that are intrabank, and they're not traded between non-banking parties. Well, OTC derivatives, whatever you want to call it.
Momentarily digressing is who the fuck is still mining Bitcoin right now?
I don't know. Go ask someone who knows.
I knew quite a few people who are operating mines, and they've all shut down. But
well, some fucker is still doing it. I know the mines on Iceland were still profitable in terms of energy costs, but
because their energy was practically free.
Yeah, I know. And cooling is practically free as well.
For example, if the latest, I don't like specialized hardware, but if someone were to purchase the latest Antminer S19 Pro hybrid, they're readily available. That's not a surprise. At current mining difficulty, it's yielding about $14 a day. However, it is, that's not only, granted, depending on the prediction with stability, you may see an ROI in a year and a half because it's about $5,000 per piece. But that's if you have free electricity costs practically.
Yep. There's only a few select countries that have that. Well, practically free. I think the mine that I know that's built in Iceland, it's built its own geo power plant.
Yeah, a lot of them have. Yeah, a lot of them have.
I mean, it's just a write-off on the expenses for the running the power plant, and then that's about it. But I don't see how it's profitable in the long run to run Bitcoin mines, to be honest, since it has diminishing returns.
I still remember the good old days when
when you could boot up your fucking laptop and mine from it. Yeah, that's
when I was running about 100 GPUs, and that was quite profitable. The good old days, and now.
I mean, I ran it when I was in high school. I ran it on my PC while I was not at home. So, didn't make huge money out of it because I sold it way too early. But, well, worked. Not huge profitability since I was only running it 50% of the time.
Yeah, I shut down in 2021, mid 2021, because I had a small unit which I was using at my friend's space, where I had 13090 set up because that was the most cost efficient means when Ethereum was still proof of work. Yep. And now that it's proof of stake, using GPUs for mining is useless.
Yep.
At its peak, you were seeing about $21 a day for a 3090 GPU. And right now, that same GPU, due to the transition to proof of stake, is yielding about 75 cents a day from 22.
I don't know, Bellaseries, what I sold it at on an average basis. It was a while ago. It was 20. It was the peak, the previous peak.
So that was 2017, 2018, the first winter.
Yep.
First hard winter.
I mean, that was right after, I didn't start studying at university immediately after high school. I took a fair bit off and worked. So, yeah. 2 years after. Man, are they gonna sell this all the way back? Really? Jesus fucking Christ. Excuse me. Harvey, how's the death patrol going?
Death Patrol?
Yeah, murdering the other partner. Well, the opposite, the person who's taking the opposite end of your trade. AKA making gains.
Yeah, they could be making gains.
No, like I'm asking, are you making anything?
No, I got to really work on it. I'm not really good at buying a bottom. But it
No.
felt really, really uncomfortable.
You felt uncomfortable at the bottom?
Yeah, I do every time at the bottom.
Oh, you don't think I did? Well, I for sure felt like fucking shit there when I bought it.
It actually came right back. Like at one point, I was like, "Oh fuck! Look at how smart you are," because it came right back to my price. Like say 50, right? Look, keeps. We have a nice little tight range right now.
Yeah, I'm primarily looking at NQ currently because I'm getting more bang for my buck. So I'm switching between the two to look, but it's primarily to look at the flow. Fuck, man. So annoying. When I work out too much and drink too much water, come burpy as hell, man. Can't even fucking talk without burping. Might be because I downed like 600 milligrams of caffeine when I worked out, so. Hello, fat cat. Yeah, it's a fair bit.
Damn, where the hell Fat Cat been?
I don't know. Fucking bitches. Being a king, having peasants here. I don't know why he's in this chat, you know. This is peasant chat. This is not kings and lords.
Gotta look down on his disciples.
Hey, Risky.
Mm-hmm.
I know you
What?
said you drink Celsius, and you said you're burping.
Yeah.
You can try to drink a different energy drink because it could be the Celsius could be the cause of it. There are energy drinks out there that.
But this was not this was like a pre-workout that I took that had 600 milligrams of caffeine in it. This is not Celsius.
Oh, 600 milligrams is quite excessive.
yeah, that's drinking 3 cans of Celsius pretty much. So.
God damn it! We mid-rolled that fucking range. Fuck sakes.
I'm waiting it to come down at 61.50 maybe, or if it's gonna roll here at 64. Don't know. But I'm looking to go long NQ, not EF. But it doesn't look like it wants to go. And I'm pissed off because I sat with a fucking long from... Fuck me, man. Stupid ass motherfucker. I re-entered afterwards at 65. Did not hold it to let it run all the way to target. I pussied out. Fucking... stupid motherfucker sometimes. Oh. Hope everybody else is managing their fucking greed today. Because I am not.
I made only one trade. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
Fives, John.
On during RTH, I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I've been trading both gold, oil, and NQ and ES. So not just NQ and ES. And I closed out my my short in the 10-year bond. Phenomenal. That one paid out really fucking handsomely.
It's either really fucking slow or it comes right back to you like a fucking.
I like that they have euro-dollar synthetic futures. Like, holy shit. They really want to fuck everybody up, don't they? Yeah. I thought we were gonna get a pullback and then you could go long NQ again, but this doesn't look fucking pleasant at all to look at. It's gonna rip here without me probably. It's a big fat nope. Slow grindy sell off. Rotation 58, 59? Anyone? Or we need to touch the lower end?
I think we need to touch the lower end.
Sad.
But I might have jinxed it, and we're gonna have a rally right now.
Oh, I know we can when you say something. That's known facts.
Six hundred milligrams of caffeine.
Yep.
Why?
I was tired as fuck. Needed to get something. I wanted to get work done. So, well, maybe overdid it a little bit there. I was hyped. Let's put it that way.
The caffeine doesn't do anything except bronchodilation for me. No effect on heart rate or blood pressure.
Well,
So I can count as much as I want.
You're definitely different than me then. For sure. Man, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Yeah, that's fucked.
As if you look at some of the clinical literature, 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine can have a similar bronchodilation effect to a low dose of albuterol or what is used in inhalers. Because inhaler use across endurance sports runs rampant.
Yep. Sure does. I'm gonna get fucked here. Yep, there we go. Fuck.
This is the silliest chart I've seen.
Jesus fucking Christ! What they fucking like? Luckily, I took my stop before that fucking happened.
Out of curiosity, has anyone watched the most recent episode of The Last of Us?
Nope. I'll leave if I have to fucking. If you're gonna spoil.
I'm
I
not
can't
going to spoil
watch
it.
My girlfriend is not like home here, and I promised not to watch it for another 2 weeks. So
Yeah, I'll be curious to hear your perspective on episode 7. I'm not going to disclose anything besides I was disappointed compared to the previous episodes. Yeah, that's all I'll say.
no. Yep. I'm gonna step out for the day. But I'm gonna fucking hit my daily R loss if that's not the case. I keep trying to catch this shit with fucking misfiring signals today.
Or dump it.
Yep. Well, because that's not the way I trade. 42. I concur, Harvey. 42.
$28. Wow.
Yeah. Well, at least my options trading is going good. Futures not my day today. Don't have the willpower to sit in and fucking fight this either. Finally, Euro stocks fucking turned in the right direction. Those puts, I've puts for 4,200 on Euro stocks that on the cash contract that expire on Friday. They're up from the bottom today. The options are up 400%.
Where's Euro stocks trading right now?
Cash contract 4,215 currently. So the 4,200, I have 4,200 and 4,175 puts on Euro stocks for Friday. Jesus Christ. Like they fucking hard dump today. From being up on the day, like majorly, to just fucking ripping down. And it's basically since 1 o'clock, well, 12:30 Central Eastern. Well, not Central Eastern, fucking Central European.
CET.
CET, sorry, my bad. Brain fucked.
But whenever I do live in Europe, I'm always still on Eastern Standard Time. All my clocks my computer, everything is on Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. You know when a guy is really lonely when he posts a story of his fucking motorcycle and he says wifey and then a heart.
Is that directed at me? Because
No, it's not directed at you. It's a friend of mine. He's like literally like the only thing he posts is his bike. But it's that and his gym, like his gym life. That's about it.
the only thing, granted, I don't have Instagram or social media, but I have a burner account to track some of the chefs that I know and restaurant groups. Because that's typically where they first post if they have openings or reservations. So I follow it for that purpose and some of the knife makers. But outside of that, yeah, the only thing I would post if I did would be food I cook, where I cycle, and that would be about it.
I mean, it's better than him posting once a day about his motorcycle. Like he's literally his story is like once a day about that. That's why I'm like laughing at it. Oh baby, it's going down more. Eurostox is fucking dumping. Finally, the US is leading the fucking charge to the downside.
Red Pie, overtrading is to me, fuck. To me, overtrading is probably total trades, excluding break evens, 8 for the whole day. That's just to me though.
In one asset class or in everything.
In
So,
one asset class.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like there's a lot of reversals today and big moves like 10, 20 points per each direction.
Yeah.
Would that still give you overtrading? Because technically it's good like entries. We're bouncing off supplies and demands.
I think for me, regardless of how many turns there are, you're not going to catch every single one. And every single one's not going to be at a level. And not every single one of those that are at your level, that gives you a turn, will give you a signal, right? So I would say even with that 8, I think it's really fair because I base it on different flows of the day, right? So if, you get a beginning flow, which is, London Open or whatever, you take 2 stabs there. Works or not, doesn't matter. After that, you get pre-market and meshed into New York Open. You get another 1 or 2 trades there. Even then, it's probably more like a 1. Reason being is because it's a little bit chaotic, right? From that point on, you're either waiting for news or you're playing for the reversal. So let's just say today at 10:12 Eastern Standard Time or 9:12 Central Standard Time, you get that reversal. It's at a level, you take it, and that's fine. You take 2 stabs at it, so this is already a total of what, 4 or 5, right? And then let's just say you predict that it's not going to go all the way up. You take another short, take another 2 stabs. So there goes your 7 or 8, right? So that's what I mean by it. But of course, I mean that it's just my opinion, guys. That doesn't mean that you're really over trading because it really depends on your system. So like, I think like, Fat Cat numbers, you can message them privately about it or publicly, however you guys want. They would take more trades than that. But the thing is they just know how to keep their risks a lot lower, risky as well, right? For me, I don't know how to do that and I'm unwilling to learn how to do that. So, I think if you're manually doing it and you're not trading the DOM as well as Fat Cat, which again, numbers said it, a couple days ago, dude's a freak. Yeah, you can learn it, but it's going to take you fucking forever. So I think on a manual basis, I think 8 it's already a lot in my head. I'm just expanding that a little bit further to kind of engulf different styles. When I'm actually trading at my best, looking at multiple assets for my bigger long-term accounts, I'm taking 2 trades a day. I'm taking 8 trades per week, excluding exits. So, smaller time frame accounts, I think, I think 6 to 8 is good.
Yeah, I would say it's entirely dependent upon your strategy. If you're taking trades that adhere to your entry criteria, I wouldn't necessarily call it over trading. Maybe if you're having too many signals which aren't generating positive expectancy, you need to reevaluate the conditions for which you're entering. But if you have a system that is, let's say, most days you have 2 or 3 signals and one day you have 9 signals, that's not over trading. I often associate over trading with haphazardly entering positions where all your conditions aren't fulfilled.
So let's say you didn't scratch those trades where it's like break even and they were all profits. Would those 8 still be over trading?
I'm excluding break evens. If I took out I included it in our count, but if I were to take it out, I think I traded 3 of them, 3 trades. So if I take a break even, I give myself an extra try to do things, and it doesn't count against me. I don't care about commissions at all. So if, like for instance, when I took this short, I think I roughly got it like 68 or something like that, and I took it off at like 55, 57, 57 I think it was. I took 2 stabs at that already. One was a break even, one was a loss. So I gave myself an extra bullet. And then I took another loss, and this is why I said I overtraded, which actually I agree with numbers, what he's saying. It's just, this is why I said I overtraded, because although I had everything aligned, I still broke a rule by, I took 2 losses, 1 break even. So that's still -2, like that's still 2 attempts. I should lay off regardless if it goes in my direction, which it did. But, I should lay off of it. Like even though, that made me money, I'm still upset at myself for doing such a thing, because this one time that it worked, it's going to fuck me otherwise. You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, I exclude break evens, and I only attempt 2 tries per location, per idea. So, in some ways, yeah, if it hits multiple times at my level, and I keep on taking, I can take, and I have taken up to like 20 trades per day. But that's because either I'm breaking even or it's going, and it's a wild day. It runs to my level. I exit, and then I look at it. I'm like, okay, it's another good turnaround. I might take another 2 stabs at it, whether it's break even or not, and then take it back down and up and back, and whatever. And there's times where it doesn't even have to fluctuate like that. It could just be a trending market, but I'm just adding on, taking off, adding on, taking off. So very much what numbers said, which I do agree. But I think again, numbers is made by ChatGPT. He's unreal. Like he can take things in and out quick, right? And he sits back and the signal comes and it enters for him, and then he manually does it, at least before. But I think for someone like myself, and of course my guesstimate of over trading was based on myself, is that if I'm taking 8 trades, 6 to 8 trades per day, it's over trading for me personally. Oh, Fat Cat's in here. What do you think, Fat Cat? Did that kind of make sense, Red Pie, by the way?
Yeah, I can see what you mean by like what your standards versus your system versus like what's attainable.
Yeah, it's different for everybody. Like Bayman takes a lot, and if he's doing well, which I think he's doing okay. It's okay. It's just, you know, it's everyone's different. Time is different, right? Like your time frame is different. Well, let me ask you this, Rip. Oh, sorry, good.
I'm down 3.5R today, so that's just the way it is.
I'm not sure what that has to do with overtrading's risky.
It does, because I was overfighting it when it went down.
Oh, okay.
Just admitting, like, people have the expectation that I never fuck up, but I do. Which is part of it. Like, when you're trading discretionary, it's a lot harder to, like, be right all the time. Or not specifically be right all the time, but to not let it affect you.
Red Pine, let me ask you this. What's your definition? Since everyone is different.
I'm sorry, could you say it again?
What's your definition of overtrading?
For me, it's when you break your system and you go against your system.
Okay.
That's just that. Like, if your system gives you something you can take, you take it. Is in general because it's part of your like what you back tested, what you logged, so you have the data for it. So if you go against it, then you're kind of just like wandering into the desert and be like, "There's water over here."
Would you possibly say that there's a possibility that the less someone trades, the more successful they'll be?
It depends again if they're taking it to their system because like HFTs are a thing for a reason, right? They're profitable. Yeah. So like if people say, well, if I take just one trade, that's probably based on a really good setup, right?
Yeah.
And but that's like
HFT versus like humans. I'm talking about humans.
Well, my point is like it's based on the setup because if your setup keeps on showing itself, then you can just keep on taking it. If it has a high win rate, then just keep on taking it. I don't see the downside to it. If it starts breaking, then you kind of like stop.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would say there's though considerable downside, especially for discretionary traders with a very high win rate. That's exceedingly concerning. That's the last thing I would suggest to someone is finding a strategy with an 85 or 90% win rate. That often leads to blowing up.
I mean, position sizing would still be a thing, though.
Position sizing, yes, but upon market regime change, order book change, everything, your strategy's ripped apart. If you're dependent upon an 85% win rate, which often in those circumstances you're going to have lower than a 1R expectancy per trade, well, you have 5 losers in a row, 10, 15. And if the regime changes with high win rate strategies, you are dependent upon the market regime in which you're trading. And if you don't have extensive back testing to know how to alter specific parameters, you're going to be blown out upon volatility, upon there being a change in volatility or regime shift. That's the preliminary issue. It's not sustainable for 99.9% of people to have a high win rate strategy. The expected value of those is pretty low.
Right.
They usually involve like some form of like really strict execution as well, which if you're not an algo, it gets hard because we're all human.
I agree with what everyone's saying. It's just that I don't know. Like when I talk to like old people, like older traders. No offense to anyone here if you're old. I'm not ageist. But they say like the thing that messed them up during this market regime, like during the shift, like you said, was that there was more volatility, and then there were seed trades, but they won't take it because they're used to like a very slower moving market or like a very like more compressed market. So that ended up like hurting them because they're leaving a lot of like not money on the table, but they're FOMOing in instead of like executing when their trade shows them.
Well, yes, I agree with that, but that's because this all returns to humans inherently do not like change. And so if something works consistently and then parameters are altered, there's uncertainty because there isn't the necessary information or adequate experience to execute with conviction. When many of the older floor traders, I don't want to say it was this simple, but it pretty much was of if you could identify the trend, you buy the trend and you're good to go versus now you'll have a trend for 30 minutes and then the market reverts to the mean and the frequent fluctuations and increased quote unquote intraday vol and realized vol drastically alters many of the traditional traders' strategy. And that's inherently where there is flaw is they are accustomed to specific vol regimes. And this market is not conducive to adhering to only one vol regime, since in the span of a week, you're going to have probably a low vol day, a high vol day, a hard trend day, and then a low vol day. If you're trading predominantly swing trend or low vol, you're going to be blown out 4 or 5 days a week. And that's what a lot of older floor traders have expressed to me is, and most of them have transitioned to having their strategies fully automated to accommodate different vol regimes because any other way, their traditional mechanisms didn't work well. That's why I recommend the book Alpha Trader. It's predominantly the emphasis is if you're going to be a successful trader, you have to be willing to adapt. And if you cannot adapt, you are going to fail. That's one of the most integral components to being a successful trader is being discerning, reflective, and adapting to changes in market mechanics or market regimes.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. Like, I know a lot of traders have like certain rules. Like, if they lose X amount per day, they'll just shut off or they'll review their trades or just switch to paper. Or like, I don't like switching to paper. I think that's like a bad habit building thing. But like some people do that, and I have nothing against them.
I do. I think it's stupid. I think it's so fucking stupid. No, I'm the biggest advocate. I think it's fucking stupid for you to do that. For you to practice bad habits on a sim just because it's sim, it's absolutely ridiculous. Just because you take 30 trades per day or 10 trades per day or even 2 trades per day, or but you're practicing bad habits. You think you're gonna just stop? Like, oh, okay, I'll just stop specifically all bad habits. No, it's absolutely not possible. You're not going to practice shooting basketball with your foot and all of a sudden in the game you're going to shoot with your hands, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So a lot of people will say, oh yeah, just hop on, just do sim. Yes, but still have an idea. If they're absolutely new, then just watch the market, don't even trade, right? And then afterwards, once you start having an idea of a setup you want, then get in and trade those setups. Don't just be like, oh, your setups fail, so let me just keep on trying. For me, I think it doesn't work that way.
No, that's entirely accurate because if you're trading with concrete parameters, there needs to be a definitive drawdown of the account where you reevaluate it. For example, you'll say, if there's a 15% drawdown, that is the threshold where you need to return to evaluation of entry conditions. But saying, oh, I had a bad day, I'm going on sim, I'm going on paper. Well, what if the following trades that present actually return your system to its positive expectancy? Because if you have, let's say, a 40% win rate over the course of 5,000 trades, there's a high degree of certainty you are going to have at least 16 consecutive losers. And if you decide to shut down, transition to paper trading, this or that, your system's expectancy changes because then you're not entering positions which you should otherwise. And psychologically, that's quite tough. But if you have a system which is methodically backtested and you're entering on concrete systematic conditions, your decision to transition to sim or paper should be determined by exceeding the maximum number of losing trades or a deviation from the system's, a 50% deviation from the system's expectancy over the course of a 1 to 2 week period. And if your account cannot incur that, you are over leveraged. Harsh reality, but yeah.
And God forbid when you hop on sim, it starts working, and then you're going to get the idea that you just need to keep on trading with real money, and then you blow up.
Yeah, I know. And or you're playing your system perfectly. You went to sim and then it works. That tilts me. That was me into a tilt where, like, oh, for fuck's sakes, if I had just put it on like I should have.
Oh shit! Mandalorian season 3 released today. Sorry.
I don't know numbers. I agree with what you said. I think that, you know, it's very broad, your answer of as long as you stick to your system, because the fact is a lot of people don't stick with their system.
Oh yes.
You know, and I think the vast majority are losers, no offense, but are losers. So the vast majority overtrade. Like their system's either to lose or something else. So I feel like I think it is to your best interest to, you know, slow it down and just think about it.
Yes, I do agree with that. Most people deviate from quote unquote their system. They don't have concrete parameters on which they're entering or potentially exiting. Therefore, you don't really know if you're deviating from the system's expectancy. And that's inherently the issue is most traders don't have definitive conditions on which they are entering a trade or exiting a trade. And that's going to present issues for not only the ability to backtest a strategy, to determine your expectancy, anything from A to Z. Since if you don't have those criteria fulfilled, how can you return to the performance and decide which parameters work and which do not? People need to methodically track why they entered a trade, what were the conditions. If you have condition A, B, and C, and D, let's say you go back after 2 weeks, realize, okay, every single occasion I entered a trade, A, B, C, and D were fulfilled. The profitable trades, I only needed A, B, and D. C was useless. It didn't provide any additional confirmation. Great, you removed a variable. Or every single losing trade included condition B. And the winning trades didn't have condition B. If you're not tracking those metrics, you can't progress with a strategy.
Hey, so I sent you that message. Did you get it? Numbers?
Yeah, I sent you several
did you?
messages. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh shit. Okay. Sorry, I've been clicking through shit.
Oh, no worries. I'm debating if I'm going to change my profile picture to a headshot or not for a day or two for shits and giggles.
For what?
What?
For what? I mean, is it a new thing or?
Oh, why not?
Oh. Is it 1% correction?
People can see the face.
What do you mean? Is it if it's a correction? You mean like I changed it, or is the win percentage correction?
Oh no, is it correct? Because did you?
I back
You
tested
say,
it. So.
but a win percentage of 26.67% and a break even of 26.67%.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Okay. Because I interpret that as when you say break even, that implies to me the strategy's break even point is 26.67, where you have to be above that percentage to be profitable. And so the way I was interpreting it was, okay, the strategy's break even then.
No, sorry. Break even meaning I would mitigate risk and it'll stop me out.
Okay.
And that trade's break even, not at the entry.
A metric, which since I don't have any other besides this, do you know the profit factor?
I can calculate it.
If you can
I
calculate the profit
I
factor,
usually
that
just
would be
calculate
helpful.
EV, but I mean,
I find profit factor to be a bit more indicative for long-term erosion, the probability of sustainability. In this circumstance, there is some erosion of profitability, whether or not that is dependent upon non-adherence or anything else. As if you're looking at the 46.67% profitability and a profit factor of, let's just say 2. That gives you a fair bit of variability for sustained profitability. But if you're looking at a profit factor of 1.2, if you deviate from your criteria, it's quite profitable that you would transition in the long run into red, and it would not be profitable. So 46.67% and a modest profit factor of 1.6 to 1.8, you're good to go.
so hold on 1 second. What was the parameters again? Can you say that one more time?
Profit factor?
Yeah.
You often would want to be over 1.5, but if we're going to very profitable, I would say over 2, because that provides a fair bit of, that provides the ability to deviate from your strategy, whether or not that's predicated on non-adherence to certain conditions. But if the profit factor is around 2, yeah, that should be, just run it.
And you're the way you're calculating profit factor is just gross over gross, right?
Average winning trade over average losing trade.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's easy.
And if you want to weight it, average winning trade multiplied by win percentage, or frequency, and then average losing trade multiplied by frequency, and then you can have the weighting.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I don't know if this is correct. Actually, let me send all of this shit.
Yo, Patty, you a G.
Whoa. This can't be right. That's way too. I didn't do weighted. Whoop. Too public now.
I think I said this a couple of days ago. Apex accounts are blown out. So, blown out as in I violated conditions. So,
yeah, you told
yeah.
us. What's your profit factor? By the way,
it depends on the strategy that I'm running.
So this might be unrealistic if that's my profit factor. I don't mind saying it's 4. And if you're saying 2 is really good, then 4 is ridiculous.
If you're running a profit factor of 4, you should scale this into wazoo.
What's wazoo? Like
as
like
It was into infinity.
Yeah.
Meaning you should go take a loan and start fucking.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be. I calculate the average win, average loss, EV, win percentage, everything. I didn't do the weighted side, but am I doing something incorrect?
So what's the average winning trade size? So you have average loss. What's the average win is 3.5 or 31.5?
Yeah.
And the win rate is consistently at 46.67.
No, that's the losing rate. The win rate is at 26.67.
Okay. 21.
This is for
Okay, so your profit factor, your weighted profit factor, this makes much more sense. Your weighted profit factor is going to be closer to 1.35.
so not great.
Or sorry, no. About 1.4. Because if you're assuming, I'm just rounding, I'm going to say 25% win rate.
Yeah.
With an average loss. So you're going to assume that I'm going to round that to 8. Okay. So yeah, 1.3 is closer. So you're going to assume average winning trade is 31, and you're going to take 3 losses of 28 or of 24. So 24 points, and then the net positive on that is going to place you at 7.5. Let me check something for you. Because with said profit factor, you may have to proceed with some semblance of caution. Because
Can you send me the formula for that? For the weighted? I've actually never calculated the weighted. I'm curious as to what my other strategies are weighted at.
If your expectancy is 3 out of 4 or 1 out of 4, it's predominantly the number of losing trades you expect over your profitability. So with it being 3/4, multiply the losses by 3 and subtract that from the average win size. So if you have 1 winning trade, that's 31.5. You're expected to have 3 losing trades at roughly 8. And so then you take the average win divided by the average or the expected loss until you are profitable. And that's going to give you a weighted. Okay. How much a risk of account per trade?
Oh, sorry. What? Say that again? How much am I risking per trade?
2% of account?
No, 1%.
Okay.
2%? Jesus Christ. Who do you think I am? Risky?
Average R, your average R is about, I'm going to 4. So your profit factor is not your R. The way you have it right now is your profit factor is your R. This is not a number you're going to like.
That's okay. I mean, I need it to be real.
Over 100 trades, you should be expecting the possibility of 16 consecutive losses.
Oh, okay. You're doing that. Okay.
Over 500 trades, 21 consecutive losses here.
I did that analysis too, and yeah, I came up with that. I had quite a bit of consecutive losses. In real time, my most consecutive loss was 5. But of course, that takes into account of human discretionary trading and.
I posted here.
So say that again.
I posted the Monte Carlo simulation.
Okay. My issue is backtesting doesn't take an account of other stuff I look at. So sometimes I won't I backtested it and then I compare it to actual trades that I've taken. And most of the time I wouldn't take it or I'll cut it short. Whether it's winner or losers based on other factors. So it's really hard for me to backtest it. I just want to know if I was a robot, is this setup even, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it even profitable? And if it is, then I can perceive to then track it.
If you're strictly adhering and you do not deviate, it should.
Right.
However, it really depends on when you begin. If you were to begin running this, because I'm looking at the median of the Monte Carlo simulations, and there's a pretty extended period, over 100 trades, where you are still negative and then go positive. If you look at the adjusted performance, it's a slight gain. Full median, actual, over 200 Monte Carlo simulations. You are going to have to be very stringent with strategy adherence if you are not contextualizing or doing anything else. If you were to run this live automated, you would see returns on it, yes, but the drawdowns, that's what probably would concern me is the drawdown percentage, because if you can over 100 trades have 16 consecutive losers, you may hit an equity peak and then quickly be negative.
So basically, it is because of the win percentage. Okay. This was tested over 300 weeks.
Okay.
Is that sim a spreadsheet?
I have this in a spreadsheet because I don't know exactly the conditions for entry. I would have put it into one of my backtesting engines, but because I don't know anything else besides the statistics, I have this as a spreadsheet.
Can you post it?
I'll consider that. I'll consider that. In the past, I had posted it, and then I found it distributed elsewhere online. There was a bunch of content I had posted in the past, and I'm not particularly happy that I found it monetized online. So it really.
Oh, I see. You made it?
I've made the spreadsheet, yes.
Okay.
There are a bunch of the other content I have found online or forwarded to me that is being sold now, which I'm hesitant to post.
Who asked? Scuba Steve?
Who what?
That was me.
Oh, sorry.
Chill laid back.
Oh, chill laid back. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure who was asking that question.
You inquired earlier or late last evening, I don't even know when I went to bed, about am I running live yet? And I'm waiting on, I want 3 data feed connections, and I'm waiting on the third and final data feed to respond regarding pricing or receive a concrete quote. Once I have that, then I should be up and running, because at the moment I'm probably going to be using CQG for my main platform is going to be TT for data and execution, CQG as a backup for data and execution, and I have a third data that's only data feed as a third failsafe, which they probably are the best data feed in the entire industry.
What was the first one you said?
First one is Trading Technologies for data and execution. The backup to that is CQG for data and execution. Then the third integrated is going to be DX Feed for data only.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, man. It's just going to be crazy. If you don't want to, tell everybody it, I understand.
Behind closed doors, I'm fine with that particularly, but anything outside of that, I'm happy to discuss aspects of it, but anything else besides anything outside of aspects, really no discussion of expectancy or anything else.
I'm just curious more than anything. It's like cool to see it work.
I'm probably going to be hands off for 2 months, besides changing sizing as I need to be. As I'm not going to look at anything. There's 3 backup data feeds to ensure that anything goes awry can immediately be rectified through transitioning to, let's say, CQG or whatever for execution if orders aren't being sent. If one of the routings is down, We have 3 backup VPSs. It's pretty much, we have all the fail-safe mechanisms in place to simply let it run.
Freaking nuts. It's cool. It's just nuts.
I'm more excited for DX feed. The data from DX feed is superb, and I've never had an outage using them in the past. The benefit is, though, well, it's nearly impossible to contact them because they are the primary data purveyors for the largest platforms. And I've never had an outage when I've used them, but for smaller individuals, they are willing to, well, depending on the individual, they're willing to work with you, and rather than charging you the full exchange price, they often offer to, if you need specific products, they will charge you on a per product basis. As if you want the full feed from CME, that's $1,500, CBOT, NYMEX, COMEX. Each of those is individually $1,500 a month.
Jesus.
And you quickly approach $10,000 to have access to all of it. But DXFeed is the only data purveyor which says, if you're smaller and you know the right people there, you only need 5 instruments, great, we'll charge you on a per instrument basis. And if you want to add more, we'll charge you for the instruments you want to add, as opposed to having to pay $10,000 full freight for access to everything.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Wait, where's that guy that asked you for that sheet, by the way? Did he?
Chillin' laid back.
He left? Okay. Fuck
It appears, yes.
I was gonna send him my Monte Carlo sheet, but which isn't yours. But since he's gone, then fuck it. Not gonna send him shit.
I haven't seen him before, which is also why I didn't want to post it.
Oh, that's understandable. I probably don't trust. Yeah. I think Bell Sirius says something to you. I'll be right back, by the way.
Oh yeah, because you posted in the ES text, Belisarius, tagging me and said what? That's why I assumed you accidentally posted in the wrong chat.
Well, reloading 3940 0DTE puts might have been the stupidest thing I've done today. Well, you're sitting here like, fuck it, like probability of it being a 10x, pretty high, or retracement to the downside, but considering the consolidation at the current price, but we'll see.
CVOL levels, Dingith, not all too much. They work, but it's another condition which I don't believe is particularly necessary if you're modeling a market based on volatility or realized vol, because that's the expected vol, but realized vol is completely different. So you can trade both, but it depends on what you desire.
don't believe I told you that numbers. Like I did a bit of fuck around in with crypto money that like I want to get in tax free, and well, I decided to put it into CFD brokers because they apparently don't do any checks where the money comes from. So
I was going to say that
Nowadays.
this partially depends on the CFD broker with which you're working, but
oh well, I'm using 4 different ones currently, and every one of them they're just so fucking greedy. They just look at it. It's like okay, 12K. We're just gonna accept it. Fucking stupid. Jesus. And then all I have to do to make it look legit for transferring it to a retail bank is just trade around a little bit with it and then send it through. Perfectly legal.
I was going to say, doesn't that inherently present issues with how stringent the ECB is with, or well, pretty much the oversight with AML?
I mean, yes, but like CFD brokers are shit. Like I'm telling you, like the interaction between the banks is pretty much determined on like they're predicting that they're going to be following the rules and checking KYC and everything. These are not really doing particularly well to check the source of the money. These CFD brokers, and as long as the CFD broker accepts it, the receiving bank, once I'm sending it out from the CFD broker, is assuming that they have done their part, and that's where they're wrong. So, I mean, obviously this can backfire, and I'll get fined. But well, it's more like the CFD broker is risking to lose their license. But that's not my problem if they're greedy fucks.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to avoid 30% tax on something that is 100% gain from the beginning. So I'm just transferring crypto gains at this point.
Good old days of not having to worry about crypto taxes.
Well, this is me avoiding them currently. Man, I was so like the reason why I brought it up. I was looking at OTC options, well, basically barrier options for NQ. Basically, predominantly on a reversal here around 12,017 to 20 roughly. So having a barrier option stop at 12,025 and then just hitting it with puts on it. Barrier puts, which I mean. You could probably just use 0 DTEs, but more fun with higher leverage. And no final date, so I can let them run for longer. Just a little bit more pricey for barrier options, but
that's not a surprise though, because you're going to be paying a premium for time and volatility.
Of course. Like the price difference. It's like it's 2.25 times the 0 DTs. That would be equivalent out of the money for this kind of strike because of how they work when they're close to basically on the well. I think you know how barrier options work by this point, so I'm not going to go into details with that. But for everyone else, basically a barrier option is an option where the closer you get to the barrier, the higher your leverage is on it, or the lower amount of value the option has. And then the further away that goes from the barrier, it's like an inverse strike for an option, for a regular vanilla option. I mean, one could say like it's basically like if you're looking at a put, well, a call at 12,020. If I were to short a at the money call, it would be like kind of similar, but like I'm not really. But my stop would be right at where it goes in the money, pretty much. Like it's I don't know how they hedge them properly, so
They don't hedge them.
They don't?
I would not be surprised if they hedge them. If they don't hedge them, correction.
I mean, like I'm putting decent amount of size on it. So if the
Well,
CFD
yes,
broker
but-
is willing to take that risk, then
Most CFD brokers operate under the assumption that
everyone is a retard.
well, predominantly that the masses subsidize the few, and therefore going through the process of hedging a single individual isn't particularly worthwhile because the income generated from fees, commissions on the 80%, 90% of traders subsidizes individuals similar to yourself.
That actually profits from this. Yeah, well, fair enough. Fair enough. We're not getting any pullbacks. This is not nice. It's a very slow one. Looks like it's gonna grind down, then reverse, and then continue with the trend from the bottom. I mean, these kinds of moves are actually better to trade with the barriers because they don't have the theta decay. So you would make money on the move down here. While if this was a 0 DTE, you would lose money on when it grinds down this slowly because it's only moved like 17 or so points on NQ, like 20 maybe. So like the spread on those puts are fucking too big. Unless you're trading at the money.
Jeez.
Nope, I'm not gonna pay my taxes as long as my government fucking imports useless people who retire after 2 years of being here. Not gonna pay any taxes. No, I'm gonna avoid it at to the extent that I can, which means finding every fucking loophole there is. It's the principle. Like if I knew the money was going to something that I thought was worthwhile, then sure. But now we have a bunch of people that don't. Well, I mean, it's not like my morals are against refugees or whatnot, but okay, having in the next 30 years, our pension payouts are gonna 3x. So, and there's no money being put in by those people who arrived here. So, into those pensions. So I don't really want to fund those fuckers. Let's put it that way. The people who vote for that kind of policies, they can fund it. Bella Serious to answer your question. Still have to pay the 30% on my main futures account. So that's the problem. This looks like it's gonna run. God damn it. NQ touching VWAP again. Probably gonna be a rip. I'm assuming. Looks that way. It's consistent upticking. And constant fucking people hitting the offer. But the system currently, numbers, it doesn't predicate on, like, it doesn't like cut trades based on changes in sentiment and only trades on volatility, correct? So it gets, like, selects targets, sets stop, and then trails it, or what?
No trailing. Trailing is actually most of the trades are actually closed at the end of a 2-hour period when it's reparameterized.
Yeah, fair enough. I figured. Yeah, that blew straight through that VWAP. Holy shit. That, where the hell are we at? Another 40, no, another 50 points, and we're up at the high of RTH on NQ. ES far closer to its high, just 4 points or so away. Well, from the recent high. Even less. Is there any rebalancing on the first of the month, or it's only the last of the month, right? Last trading day of the month. That's the like major rebalance.
There's going to be rebalancing based on how to hedge existing positions that may be underwater.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, I was just thinking if there was any specific date rebalance that's like on the first of the month or whatever. I mean, there might be introductions into new components into the indexes, but that's about the only thing I can think of would happen.
I was going to say that's quarterly when you have for NASDAQ.
Oh, they only had it quarterly?
Yes.
Wow. Can't remember. It was some Swedish company that's going to be, but it's not NASDAQ 100 composite, I don't think. Cinch is going to get introduced. It was the large one. I don't know if it was dual listed or whatever. What they're going to do.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Yes.